Please stand and join us, if you wish, in singing our opening song, Stayed on Spirit, with Chris and the We are an all-inclusive center of love, where we recognize and celebrate each person as a divine and unique expression of the one Spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Thank you to those who are joining us online today as well. We're happy that you're here with us. Thank you to Joyce Lindsay for the beautiful floral arrangements that you provide for us. We appreciate you so much. Now I invite you to please join me in reading the opening community affirmation. It's in your program on the left side and up on the wall. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is created and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. Is there anyone joining us here for the first time? Thank you for being with us, Colin. If you don't already have a welcome packet, you can pick one up at the welcome table right outside the sanctuary doors. It includes a gift for you to use in our wonderful bookstore and gift shop. So please visit after service, where we are so happy to assist you. Daily text announcements. We send out our daily affirmations and updates regarding service and any upcoming events through a texting service. If you would like to join this service, please text JOIN to 683-2356. The info is also up on the monitors for your convenience. If you are no longer getting our daily messages and you would like to rejoin, reach out to Brandy. She is happy to help you with that process. It's great to be in the loop and connect throughout the week. Announcements for any upcoming events are in your program each week, along with daily affirmations to use, so please take it home to keep you handy. Current events happening at the center can also be found online through our social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram. We have our HDCSL monthly calendar found on our website as well. We do have a few announcements to share with you now. After service today, we will gather in the community room for fellowship and light refreshments. All are welcome to come right back here in the sanctuary at 11:30 for our sound healing experience. It will be about 70 minutes in total for the sound bath. The suggested donation for this event is $25 and is open to all. Workday with Frank and the crew is set for this coming Saturday, April 20th at 7:30 a.m. We really appreciate all the volunteers who help take care of our beautiful center. See Frank if you have any questions. Karaoke and game night is also happening this coming Saturday, August 20th from 6 to 9 p.m. This is open to all, so bring a friend to enjoy with you. Even if you don't sing, come support your friends and have a good time. You are welcome to bring games to play and or snacks to share. Thank you to our DJ, Steve Colucci, for providing the karaoke. Join us, it's a lot of fun, and there's no fee for this event. Please
it is fun.
So much fun.
So much. Please consider tipping your DJ as a thank you for his time. Sunday, August 21st, we have Reverend David Allen Cruz as our guest speaker with our monthly board meeting to follow. Sunday, August 28th, right after service, our center is having a spaghetti lunch fundraiser. We will be serving spaghetti, meatballs on the side, garlic bread, and salad. You can prepay in the bookstore for $15. Price at the door is $20. This is open to all, so invite your friends. There are flyers at the concierge desk as well. As a reminder, we have Tai Chi Tuesdays with Chris at 11 a.m. this Tuesday starting 8:30, August 3rd. This is offered on a love donation. All money received is split between our center and Chris. Do something good for your body, mind, and spirit, and join us for Tai Chi. That's all the announcements. Every Sunday, we share the vision for our new minister. We ask you to hold this vision with us throughout the week. Printed copies are available at the concierge table for you to take home as well. Join me in reading this if you choose. Our purpose is unity. Our vision is to be a dynamic teaching center where we learn to experience the Spirit within us and to express our fullest potential in life. Our new minister is comfortable with shared leadership, accessible to our community, has humor, tact, and is kind. Our new minister is intelligent, a fine teacher of science of mind, an inspired speaker, and feeds us spiritually. Our new minister lives the science of mind with integrity, has a consciousness of abundance, is authentic and unbiased. Our new minister is enthusiastic while being emotionally mature, committed, and connected to our community, and is wise in all their affairs. And now I'd like to welcome our practitioner of the day, Marina Shoupe.
Sorry.
Making a dash.
Thank you. That is my theme song. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here. Please join me. Look at this. As we read Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises together, they're in the air and on the front page of your program. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And for our further contemplation today, let's turn within as Chris shares When I Pray by Daniel Nahmod. Enjoy. Yummy. Marie Downing will now join me as we light the flames of faith. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, yay, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought. I'm sorry, an experience which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanistic traditions. Whoops. You're correct, I'm sorry. We light the first candle for the shamanistic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, including the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here, every single one. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. Thank you, Marie. And I invite you to close your eyes, settle in a little deeper than you were before. As we go into prayer, you know there is one life. There is one life. One sweet, funny, delicious, and surprising life. This is my life, and this life is God. With joy, with absolute joy, I embrace the fact that I am one with everything in this life. I am one with nature, spirit, God, and with love. I look out at you all. Your pulse is my pulse. We inhale the same God stuff. We are the sound bath frequencies and the bird song that greeted me this morning. Our song is joy. It's our song. What I know for myself on this fine day, I declare for everyone here, everyone listening. I am well. Health and peace are mine. I remain cool deep inside within these thick, warm winds. Love and mirth are mine in fabulous quantities. I am willing to be surprised. This life, with all its twists, turns, and adventures, is very rich and quite full. I am here. I am deeply grateful for this center. our community, and all opportunities to serve. What a blast, and what an extraordinary time. I release my word into the source that knows nothing but responding to my intention, the power of my intention. I release this, I release my word. Please join me together by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
I'd like to bring the choir up now. We have a special song.
It is a pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. Reverend Mark Accomando currently serves the Palm Springs Spiritual Center as staff minister and is the former senior minister at the Center for Spiritual Living in Raleigh, North Carolina. His focus ministry, Evoke Peace Now, serves more than 7 addiction recovery treatment facilities. He teaches dialectical behavior therapy skills that focus on mindfulness, emotion regulation, and a wide spectrum of principles and practices found in the teachings of the science of mind and spirit. A few years ago, Mark created Sacred Vibes Studio and events that include his healing sound bath journeys, intentional healing practices, and ceremonies. He has created his first album of music and guided meditations called An Ancient Peace. He is currently working on a new album using Tibetan singing bowls, crystal quartz bowls, gongs, Native American flutes, and a hang drum. We're looking forward to his healing sound bath following the service today. Please help me welcome Reverend Mark Accomando.
Wow, I'm so glad to be here. Wow. I was so impressed when I drove up and saw this building and I saw the space and I thought, wow, this is a beautiful, amazing spiritual space. And it's all about creating the space, I think. And the other thing I was really impressed was by the level of commitment that so many here have to run the spiritual community and make this thing happen. Just from Marina to Brandy, thank you so much for all the emails and everybody else along the way, comments, and helped me set up and everything. It's really very wonderful to see that you have this foundation, you know, and that's what it takes, you know, to have a spiritual community and to build one and to continue to build it. It's always building, always moving and shaking and morphing, and that's the spiritual community for you. And one thing I was also impressed with, there's an office for the minister. I felt like a VIP, you know.
You
I
are.
could walk back in there, I think there's a bathroom in there, I put my little lotions on my face. But then I was back there and I was like, and I looked down, I was getting ready, and I noticed I have 2 white cats, and I wore black pants. You know, and I have all this hair. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know my lint thing, you know. And I go into the bathroom, and there's a lint little one there. So what you guys really make it all work. So what a beautiful spiritual community. I'm very honored to be here. You know, and I can't remember if I had a title for this talk. It all changed as soon as I walked in the door here. Like, did you ever have a plan and it just changes?
Oh, yeah.
Like you think you know what you're going to do, and you walk in there, and it's like something completely different is happening here, and it's not going to look like you thought, so you got to trust. You know, and to me that's the path. You got to trust. You know, you got to trust the path. So I walked in here, and I was getting ready and setting up, and I was listening to Chris and the choir getting going. They were doing some practice. It was so nice to get started. All that energy was going on, and Marina was like on it. She was on it. She's like, "Let's get this done." She was in work mode, and I love that. You know, you got to get stuff done. I'd say something else when I was a kid here. You got to get stuff done. You know, sometimes that's the way it is. You know? Right? But anyway, so I'm sitting here, and I was getting ready, and I overheard Chris share about the song he's going to sing at the end. Nature Boy, right? He's going to sing Nature Boy again. Anyone ever hear Nature Boy?
Yep.
Yeah? You heard him sing? Well, that song has such significance to me. It has literally followed me around the country. Like, when I first became a minister, my first place I was served was in the Chicago Center for Spiritual Living. And I was it was I did like a 3-year internship there. And when I did my installation, when they honored the minister for joining the church and do this like little ceremony, and you're taking your oath and all that good stuff. And they had the minister there, Reverend Joette Waters, who was my mentor, and I was serving under. She had a good friend in Chicago. Her name is Bobby Wilson, and Bobby Wilson is a pretty famous Chicago jazz singer. And she sang Nature Boy to me in my installation. And that song, as she was singing it, like, all of a sudden I said, this is my life. Like, it's about this person that is on this path, and they meet, I can't remember the lyrics right now, I should have brought it up. It's been a while since I heard the song, but it's about this person, this boy going on this journey. And on this journey, he meets all kinds of wonderful people. Kings and queens and all kinds of people, and he meets all kinds of people all around. And the essence of the whole song is the greatest thing you'll ever know is just to love and be loved in return. So, just to love and be loved in return. That's it. It's not that mysterious. It's not that complicated. You're like, wow, I'm trying to get something to be enough. All that stuff that I was trying to get. And when I realized that it's all about love, and so anyway, let me finish my story about Nature Boy. So I was when I left Chicago, I went to Raleigh. I was a senior minister. Joette Waters, the minister, came to my spiritual community, and she surprised me with that song. I didn't know she was going to sing it. She sang it at my installation in Raleigh, North Carolina. So when I was moving out here to Palm Desert, I was first served at Palm Desert Center as the director of the family and youth program. And I was, the first Sunday I was there, I'm sitting there, and they have a jazz singer, and she sings Nature Boy. Oh, and by the way, the week before that, I was traveling across the country, and I stopped at the community in Huntsville, Alabama, where I did most of my teaching, most of my studies, and most of my ministerial studies and time. I spent over 7 years there as a student. And when I drove through, their particular, what we were singing that day, sang Nature Boy. And it took me a week to get out to Palm Desert, and then it's sung again. And then when I left Palm Desert, literally the Sunday after, I didn't even want to go to a spiritual community. I was ready to take a little break. But one of my friends said, oh, come on, come to the spiritual community. It's this kind of like interfaith kind of place. I stepped in there, it was Easter Sunday. And the minister, the guy who was singing, the music director sang Nature Boy. So it's followed me all along. So whenever I hear this now, I know it's in sync. It's reminding me something that I'm on the journey. And you know, the way I think God works, the way when we're on the path, and I think we're all on the path, are we not?
Yes.
I actually did title this talk, The Sacred Path. The Sacred Journey, rather. The Sacred Journey. And I think we're all on the sacred journey, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't be here if you weren't.
Right.
Right? We're all on the sacred journey. And being on the sacred journey isn't always the easiest thing to be on. Because you have to look at yourself. Like all the time. You know, like, that's what I love about science of mind. It's like, it makes you look at yourself. You know, like, what are you thinking? The science of mind.
That's right.
What's going on? What's going on up in there? Right? What's going on? You know, what's going on in your head? Become more aware. Become more conscious. This is part of the spiritual path, right? To become conscious versus unconscious, right? And the whole path is about becoming conscious. Conscious of what? Conscious of what's already there. Ernest Holmes says, "What you're looking for, you're looking with." You heard that one before?
Yeah.
What you're looking for, you're looking with. Am I talking loud enough that you don't hear me back there? Yeah. You know, what you're looking for, you're looking with. You know? So on the journey, on this sacred journey, you know, the most amazing thing is, and this is the beautiful thing about being in spiritual community, we're doing it together. We need each other. We just do. We just need each other. Now more than ever, I think. You know, what's going on in the world today, the challenges we're facing as on our Mother Earth, the challenges we're facing in our culture, right? We have a lot going on. We have a lot of chaos and drama going on out there. Anyone notice all the chaos and drama? I'm not the only one noticing that. Right? And I notice that the chaos and drama ain't going on out there, it's going on up here. I conjure stuff up. You know, it's amazing to me how much I'll conjure chaos and drama up out of nowhere. You know? But being in spiritual community has really helped me to kind of ground. We support each other, to remind each other. You know, as much as we have so many different personalities in spiritual community, you know, the healthiest spiritual communities I've ever worked with are the ones who have an openness to having sometimes those conversations where someone's calling you on your stuff. Saying, hey, you know, be a little mindful about that, you know? Can you shift a little bit the angle where you're looking at that so you're not so abrasive or whatever that is, you know? And so it's like, it's part of it. It's part of it. I remember when I was a senior minister in Raleigh, North Carolina, we had this big blowout. There was some volunteer, angry at the kitchen volunteer, and the volunteer was angry at the usher or something like that. They were going at it, you know. And so they come up to me after and they said, Mark, this shouldn't be happening in our spiritual community. You know, like you're all upset and crying. I'm like, what a better place for it to happen.
Good perspective.
Right? Now we can work with it. We all have our issues and egos, you know. We all do, you know. Hate to admit it, but we have egos, right? We have our issues, you know. And the work I do in the addiction treatment centers, I always ask the clients I work with, I said, and usually I have like maybe sometimes 10, 15, 20 people in my groups that I teach, you know. And I ask them, does anybody have any issues? Anybody? Of course, they all have to raise their hand. You know? Of course we have issues. You know, we all have issues. Our issues are not who we are. That's the key. Issues flare up in our face so that we can work with them, not against them. Right? And that's part of the understanding of the sacred journey. We're starting to learn that we can work with this stuff. Instead of making it wrong, making it bad, something's wrong with me because I have this going on. Right? It's flaring up in my face so I can see it. Not for another reason to beat up on myself. I don't know if you're like me, I'm really good at that one, beating up on myself. Yeah, I mean, I was really, really good at it years ago. Thank God for science and mind.
Right?
When I first got on this path in science and mind, I was like, oh, Lord. I mean, I had so much negative mind. I was so angry. I had so much anger, and I didn't tell anyone about it, of course. Nobody knew. But it was there. It was there. You know, and it shows up. So it's really wise, actually, to actually acknowledge, hey, I'm angry. Stuff didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And it was wrong, you know, some stuff that happens in life, right? But then we got to face it. Then, well, what can I learn from that, right? One of the things I love to share on the Sacred Journey is about the hero's journey. Anyone ever hear of the hero's journey?
Oh, yeah.
This is, has anyone seen the docu-film called Finding Joe? Yeah? Yeah, you have? Anybody else? Finding Joe, it's a docu-film. It's about the works of Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell, now I remember reading Joseph Campbell like 20 years ago, and it was like over my head. I didn't, whatever he was saying, I didn't really get it. I'm like, okay, it sounds kind of interesting. Yeah, I guess we're on this journey. But I didn't really get it until I saw this docu-film. It was really cool about the, if you could show that, if you have that on the PowerPoint, the picture of the hero's journey. I don't know. There's I think I sent that. I don't know. Did it come? Oh, you didn't get my slides? Okay, never mind. That's cool. Part of the journey. It's pretty simple. You don't really need to see it there. I just like it fancy. You know, this PowerPoint thing, that's okay. You don't need it. But anyway, so the hero's journey basically is we're all on the hero's journey. It's the sacred journey that we're all on. And the interesting thing about Joseph Campbell is he's an anthropologist. He studied ancient history, right? And cultures, right? Is that anthropologist? Yeah, all right.
Mythologist.
Huh?
Mythologist.
Mythologist, okay, thank you. Anyway, and so when he studied these ancient stories, like he went into cultures all around the world and studied these ancient practices, stories. And he went into like little like indigenous cultures and had their stories translated so he could listen to them, you know. And at some point along the way, he recognized something. He recognized that every story, from ancient Greek mythology, the stories of the Bible, the Quran, all the way up to the Matrix and Harry Potter and the Wizard of Oz, you know, that the same three elements were in all these stories. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's why I like when you go to a movie and you're inspired, because it touched you somewhere, because you're on that journey too. We're all on the same journey. The stories are about reminding us that we're on the journey, right? And they somehow touch us in some way, right? So there's three elements. First element is separation. Second element is initiation. And the third element of every story is return. Okay? So separation, everything falls apart, your whole life turns upside down. I know for me, and part of why I got on a spiritual path, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life or where it was going. I was lost. I didn't know who I was, who I wanted to be. There was a lot of unconsciousness going on, you know, and my whole life was turning upside down, you know. I had a pretty successful construction company. I knew I didn't want to do that the rest of my life for a number of reasons. And I knew I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what that was. And I stumbled upon a Science and Mind church in DuPage County, Illinois, with Reverend Dr. Don Burt. I don't know if anyone knows him. Get a big high five from Reverend Dr. Don Burt. He was my first teacher, an amazing teacher. And he told me, if you follow things that are interesting, if you follow things that are meaningful, and if you follow things that bring you a sense of joy, that will become your life work. I was so confused, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I'm like, yeah, how am I going to make money doing that? I'm a construction worker. Like, I didn't believe him at first, you know. I was like, okay, you know. But I did. I heard him. And I said, I don't know what I want, so I'm going to listen to this guy, you know. And so I started following those things, which led me on this amazing journey that we all have been on, or you wouldn't be here, you know. But when he told me to follow things that are interesting, meaningful, bring you a sense of joy, well, you know what happens when you do that? Your whole world turns upside down. Okay, not every time. You don't have to, you know, leave where you're living and, you know, like I did. You don't have to do that as many times as I did. But sometimes it occurs that way, right? So separation. Initiation is when you go through the challenges the challenging times in your life where you have to face your greatest fears. You know, so one of the best examples, the most simple examples I can give you, is Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. Anyone ever see Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Simple, I'm going to try and be quick. I forgot to ask how much time. Someone give me a 5 minutes, and someone give me a 5 minute thing or something before I get to that point, because I forgot to give the time when I started. But anyway, so Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, I'm going to try and keep this short. You know, of course, we all know how it goes, right? She's hanging out at the farm with Toto and Annie Ann, and they're having a good time, you know, except for that mean lady keeps trying to steal her dog, right? But other than that, you know, she's hanging out in the park, right? What happens? A tornado, right? A tornado comes, right? What happens? Her whole world turns upside down. Separation. Mm-hmm. And where does she find herself? In Oz, this strange land. She doesn't even know where she is, right? She doesn't even know where she's at. But she finds herself in this strange land. Of course, who pops up out of the woodwork? You know, the little munchkins they call them back then. I don't hope that's not politically correct. That's a bad thing. But right, so those little people, when they were helping her find her way, she didn't know where she was at. They're also going to, you know, from the very beginning of that movie, of that story, where's she trying to get? Home. The whole thing's about her returning home. Return is the third element of the hero's journey, right? So she gets on this journey and she meets all these people, right? She meets the little bumpskins and they're trying to tell her, follow me on the good road. Oh, they even have a nice song, right? I forget how it goes, right? Anyone know? Yeah, that's it. Right, so she follows him. So then those people are the helpers. See, when you take the leap on this journey, and you find that you're upside down, and sometimes it happens, you decide to take the journey and you leap. Sometimes it just happens because that's the way life occurs. You lose that job, someone passes that you didn't know was going to pass, and it happened. Home, finance, all kinds of reasons why our world can turn upside down, right? But when we step out, all of a sudden we meet these little helpers. And Joseph Campbell calls them magical helpers. You have your helpers that are showing you the way, and then you have the magical. Who's the magical helper in Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? Huh? The Good Witch, Glenda the Good Witch, right? Well, she was like the higher power. She's like the element of the higher, the wisdom, like in Star Wars, it's Yoda, right? In Harry Potter, who's it? What's his name again? What's the name?
Dumbledore.
Yeah, Gandalf. Yeah. And, is that the one?
That's
Lord
Lord of the Rings.
of the Rings. Okay. They all have Lord of the Rings. So right, so here we have it. So we have this. So these are the elements of every story. Every story that was ever written have these three elements because it's a story of your life. It's a story of my life. It's happening all the time, right? We have these helpers that show up. But you also have the dragon. The dragon. The dragon is the greatest, fiercest monster ever created by human beings, right? Yeah? It was, we created it. It's not real. You know that, right? Dragons are, fire-breathing dragons are not real. It's mythology. It's metaphor. What does the dragon represent? Fear. Fear. Challenge. And we have to face it. Part of the hero's journey is facing our greatest challenges. And knowing, you know what? You are going to have fear. We are going to have fear. It's a part of life. Fear is not bad. It's not. When I work with my clients, I tell them all the time, you guys are in a very powerful place in your life. That we're in an addiction treatment center, you know? You're in a very powerful time of transformation and growth. You're letting go of some stuff that's no longer working. And you're stepping into a new possibility. A new potential of who you are, who you're becoming. But you gotta face your fears. Part of the reason maybe you got caught up in all that, maybe that you were trying to hide that. Maybe you were trying, you weren't really wanting to face some things, you know? That's just a part of the journey. We all do that too. Sometimes don't want to face things, right? Mm-hmm. You know, life is scary. Again, this is another wonderful thing about spiritual community. We don't have to do it alone. We can talk about our fears. You know, I know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, my class in Science of Mind, the class I've taken over the years, absolutely helped me to face my greatest fears. My horrible, paralyzing insecurities that I had along the way. With my greatest dragon, And it was always, I'm not enough. I don't measure up. Somehow I don't fit in. And that started to me when I was a little kid. You know, I wasn't enough. I didn't measure up. I was this little kind of wimpy little kid, a little bit strange, you know. And I just didn't feel like I fit in. I had many reasons why. I grew up in a crazy, insane household. I didn't know what to expect when I got home at the end of the day. It was just like all this drama, and I was just so insecure, covered up by that. But on the journey, you got to face it. So the dragon, of course, the dragon in the Wicked Witch, or in the Wizard of Oz, is the Wicked Witch, right? Right. So Dorothy's on this journey, and she meets some people along the way. Who does she meet? Scarecrow, the lion, and Tin Man, right? Scarecrow, lion, and Tin Man. These are archetypes of us. They're in every story. Fear. The lion didn't think he had courage, right? So he had fear. He was afraid. He didn't have courage. The Tin Man didn't have a heart, right? Missing a heart. And the Scarecrow didn't have a brain. Right? What the brain represents, the mind, is the wisdom, right? So they're afraid. So they're on the yellow brick road together, right? Oh, the yellow brick road. They're all together, right? Skipping. But they're all in search of something, aren't they? Dorothy wants to get home. The lion wants to get courage. The Tin Man wants to get a heart. And the Scarecrow wants to get a brain. They all think they're not enough. They all think they don't measure up, and they're not going to be able to make it. So anyway, so they finally get to the wizard. What happens when they finally get to the wizard? Falls. No, not yet. He tells them, you got to go get the broomstick. I'm not going to help you until you get the broomstick of the greatest spear of the land, which is the wizard, the witch, right? So they go and they conquer the, you know the story, right? They go there, they have a fight in the castle, and she throws the water, and I'm nothing. That's the Wicked Witch, right? So she finally conquers the greatest spear. She gets back to the wizard. What happens when she gets back to the Wizard of Oz? He's a fake, a fraud, bells and whistles, smokes and mirrors, right? And they don't, and all that's going on, and they're like, now what? Right? Well, Glenda comes down, and first the wizard tells them what they do have, but they didn't think they had, and they finally realize, oh, I did have a heart, I do have a mind, I do have courage, right? And Dorothy, all she had to do was what? Get home. I love you. I see some glass silvers, right? But right, so the whole point there was that it was always within her. That's what Glenda tells her. It's within you. All you got to do is say, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." Click your heels 3 times and you're home. But it's a metaphor. The metaphor was and is. It was always within her. But here's the really key thing. If you didn't hear anything I said today, I hope you hear this. The key is that Dorothy would have never known to click her heels 3 times if she hadn't been through that journey. She had to go through that journey to know what she needed to know, so that she could actually then find that within herself, the truth within herself. You see? So we spend so much time kind of lost trying to find that, but it's already always within us. The sacred space, the divine presence, the inner wisdom, higher power, the inner knowing is always here. But what do we have to do? We have to stop, right? Stop for 5, 10 minutes, maybe 15 or 20, right? And get connected with that divine presence. So the return is always about getting home. What is the return? The return is where you bring your treasure. You get to share now in the world. Well, first of all, you find something within yourself that you didn't know you had, that you found because you went on that journey, right? Because you were on that journey, whether you knew you were on it or not. You learned a lot of stuff, right? And then at the end, then you return. The return is about you sharing yourself now in the world in a way that you couldn't if you hadn't been through that. I know working in addiction treatment centers, I wouldn't be able to do it if I hadn't been through my own pattern of addiction that I had to work through and heal. They have the empathy and compassion and understanding that I do to be able to do that stuff. I know working with teenagers, I wouldn't have the empathy, compassion, and understanding to work with teenagers like I did when I was working in youth programs for about 12 years with our youth camps and teen camps and stuff like that. I wouldn't have that if I didn't look at an insane childhood. The insane childhood prepared me. Now, of course, I'm not condoning anyone's bad behavior, mine or anybody else's. But I could see now what worked and what didn't work. Now I could use that to return. So I got to close up. I can talk for another hour, but you get where I'm going.
Yes.
We're all on a sacred journey. But I want to leave you with something real powerful. It's a simple practice, and we're going to do a little bit of that during the sound bath. And it's about really connecting with this divine presence that's already within us. It's about stopping for a few minutes, just being. And the practice is called Shenpa. Anyone ever heard of Shenpa? It's S-H-E-N-P-A. Shenpa. It's a Buddhist practice, Shenpa. Now, Shenpa is, if you translate that word, it means attachment. Attachment is the root of all of our suffering. When I want something to be different than it is right now, and it's not that way, what do? I'm in resistance to what is. What is that? Suffering. Shenpa, right? Now, Shenpa is something we all deal with. We have lots of Shenpa, don't we? If you think about it, there's certain things in life we just know they shouldn't be that way, right? And because we know that we need to change it. Mark needs to control the world, right? Makes no sense. I suffer from that idea that I can control the world, right? I think I got my 5 minutes. Okay, right? So I can suffer so much of my resistance to things being different than they are. When I'm in resistance to who I am right now, at this moment, like right now, in this moment, all of us sitting in this chair, right where you are, just as you are, on some levels, absolutely right where you're supposed to be. For our own growth, for our own understanding, for our own healing, for our own evolution. If we can honor that we're here for a reason, whatever stage in our life, whatever we got going on, it's teaching us something. You know, I'm learning, I'm growing. We're on a path of expanding our awareness. You know? So here we are, and in Shenpa is about the practice itself, basically, which we're going to do during the sound bath thing. We're going to spend a little bit of time. And we're going to actually do it right now real quick. You want to do it real quick?
Yes.
Okay. So just find a nice comfortable position to sit in. Be comfortable. A position where you don't think you need to move a lot. You know. What happened during my chimes? I bring these with me just in case of emergency. So here we are. So just notice your body sitting here. In a particular spot you find yourself sitting. Notice your posture sitting in right now. Feel the weight of your body sitting in the chair. You observe your body breathing. Just bring your full attention now to full awareness to this present moment. This moment right here, right now, breathing this breath. Now see if you can sit in your body perfectly still, without any movement. Allow your body to relax, allow your face to relax, your shoulders, your neck, your stomach. Just allow yourself to relax into the chair. Sometimes when we're sitting for a longer period of time, you may notice like a little itch or scratch. Maybe you want to scratch. The idea here is to observe that urge to move and not move. Observe the itch and allow yourself to not scratch the itch. To allow yourself to feel the itch fully. Feel as it comes on. Notice how it increases in intensity. Feeling that discomfort. And then noticing how it falls away. It's the same thing with our thoughts. Our mind goes off on some tangent, thinking about something. We're trying to be present in the moment. And that's okay, that's what the mind does. We notice it instead of following that urge to follow the story in our mind. We observe it. Bring our attention back to our point of focus. The same thing with our emotions. Noticing we're feeling emotions today. Honoring all of our emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, discordant ones, the ones that are unpleasant that we don't like, as well as the ones that we do like. Basically just observing it all without judging any of it, making any of it wrong. We're so right. Very nice space to honor ourselves right where we are, just as we are right now. Knowing that right where you are in this moment is right where you're supposed to be. If we have any resistance to our life, as we begin to bring our attention back now to the room. If we have any resistance to our life right now, can we notice that resistance and not make the resistance wrong either? It's just resistance. It's me wanting something to be different than this right now. You know, I want the world to be different than this. You know, and I get angry about that, but I can't change that. I can't fix everything. You know, what I can do is be proactive. I can notice my resistance. I can see what's not working. I can notice it, and I can learn how to work with it. So Shoupe is basically observing a discomfort, some disturbance, and not doing the habitual scratching, trying to make it go away. Or numb ourselves out, or get distracted. It's actually being with it fully. Being with whatever's present fully. And then there's wisdom there. There's an amazing wisdom that comes through that. So we're all on the sacred journey. And I'm so glad to be on it with you today. You know, thank you for letting me come here and letting me share. This journey started, I'll show you. I gotta go back to my sound journey started with this little bowl when I went to India. And I brought this back as a souvenir. So you never know where it begins and what it's going to turn into. You know, you got to follow that sacred journey, and sometimes it's really scary. But if you follow those things that are interesting, meaningful, bring you a sense of joy, it's amazing. So I'm getting the assignments. Thank you so much, y'all, and make it a beautiful day.
I'll send this out to you. Strange, enchanted world. They say wander very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad. He passed my way, and as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
This is our giving time. Please take a moment to join me in appreciation for this community and our philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There's always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude. Because we appreciate you and your contributions, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to our center. You can use the Vanco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can visit our website to make a donation, www.high-desertcsl.org. Scroll down to the donate button, or drop off a donation throughout the week or by mail. Thank you for supporting our center. And thank you to our ushers today for your service. Please join me in reading aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside your program on the left side and also on the monitors. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. I invite our ushers to start at the front of the room with the baskets.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I
flow, that this beautiful spiritual community is in the flow of this divine presence working in, as, and through each one of us in beautiful, unique, dynamic, and unexpected ways. So we give great thanks for this precious opportunity to come here this morning. Knowing that as we give, so shall we receive, and as we receive, so shall we give. I know that all of our needs are met on time, and plenty to share, plenty to spare. So in this place of alignment, we tap into the divine prosperity of being in the flow of love, givingness, and consciousness. We give great thanks for this time. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
May I have the practitioners to the stage, please? Our practitioner team is here to serve you. The prayer request box is in the garden room under the picture of Dr. Ernest Holmes. And our practitioners' phone numbers are on the back side of your program. Please reach out to one of our experienced practitioners for prayer if you are going through a challenge in your life. They are here to know the truth for you and are available after service for your spiritual support if you need prayer. Thank you for those who have joined us online and in person. We'll see you next Sunday, August 20th, with Reverend David Allen Cruz. Have a great week, everyone. And I invite practitioner Marina Shoupe to read our affirmation for the day.
With pleasure. Thank you, Thomas. Okay, so you know the deal. I'm going to read it 3 times. 2 and 3 are yours with me. I take time with nature today and feel my connection to all life. I am renewed. All right? With feeling. I take time with nature today and feel my connection to all life. I am renewed. I take time with nature today and feel my connection to all life. I am renewed. Benediction and closing.
Okay.
You're up.
Okay. Let's just breathe in to this dynamic vibration that we created and co-created together this morning. Knowing that love does lead the way, that all it is love. The greatest thing we'll ever know is just to love and be loved in return. And as we know this in our heart, as we share this through our heart, who we are being, we see it in everything and everybody. We see it within ourselves. We see it within all sentient beings. We know that we are a vibration, the highest and most beautiful vibration that touches the entire world. We send this peace, we send this love, we send this vibration throughout the world, wherever it's needed right now. We give thanks knowing that the coming together this morning has an impact, a ripple effect in our lives and in the world. And for this we give great thanks. As we surrender this now, we let it go, we let Spirit have the way, we claim it is so, we say together.
So it is.